look to see when we pop in there.
Okay.
It is telling us that we are live. As soon as I see us in Facebook, I am going to get us started.
I missed our music. Just
It
fun,
is.
fun,
Just
fun.
fun, 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 fun. Well, we got a new intro now.
Uh,
Maybe I can incorporate that, but here we go.
You thought I was playing? Huh.
Yeah, she is in the house. She is in the house. We have Miss Jeri Godhigh with us today. Oh my gosh, we have
yes.
had such an amazing time. We probably should have just hit the live button while we were in the green room. Powerful, powerful, powerful conversation. Welcome,
Yes.
welcome, welcome, all deeper women who lead. I am so excited to be here with you today. We have just 6 days, Jeri, 6 days to Deeper Women Lead Atlanta, March 19th, Saturday at the Sheridan Galleria Suites, Atlanta. If you have not registered, be sure to go and register at deeperwomenleadglobal.org so that we can see you next week. So we can see you on Saturday. If you're not able to be in person, we also have a virtual option that is going to be just as powerful as the in-person session. Now, before we get started, Jeri, I always have to tell people who I am. I'll keep introducing myself until I don't have to. How about that?
All right.
I am Dr. Barbara Swinney, your life and holistic leadership coach and coach trainer. I'm the founder and CEO of the Deeper Leader Institute for Personal and Professional Development, where true leadership starts with self-leadership. And that is exactly where we start at the Deeper Leader Institute. We start with you. We coach, train, and certify leaders who are looking to become more effective leaders in their own role, in their current leadership role, in their business, in their organization, or they are ready to contribute to the field and launch their own life and leadership coaching business. I am also the founder and CEO of deeperwomenleadglobal.org, which is an organization established to help women in leadership or empower women in leadership to share their stories and strategies of life, love, and leadership so that they can free and grow other women who lead. I am also super excited to be hosting the 5th event for Deeper Women Lead. That is Deeper Women Lead Atlanta. We started back in 2018 with the launch of this little book, It's Always Deeper. And Jeri, when I wrote this book, my editor said a book has about an 18-month shelf life. As far as selling and all of that. The purpose of this book wasn't necessarily to get a whole lot of sales. This book represents action for me. It represents movement for me. With this book, we launched Deeper Women Speak with me and 4 of my friends in leadership, sharing our stories and strategies for life, love, and leadership. That was in 2018. On Saturday, March 19th, we will host more than 20 speakers. In fact, I think there are 22 of us will break the Deeper Women Lead stage. So I am so excited about what's happening with the organization, as well as what the women will actually walk away with on Saturday, March 19th. So again, if you have not registered, be sure to register at deeperwomenleadglobal.org. And we're going to jump into this interview because I know you guys want to know who Miss Jeri Godhigh is. Some of you want to re-know her. You already know her. I'm excited. Jeri and I have a longer relationship, even longer than Deeper Women Lead, but we really connected as a part of the business. Deeper Women lead the Deeper Leader Institute for Personal and Professional Development. Jeri was one of my students there. She is a certified life-changing coach. She was certified through the Deeper Leader Institute. She was one of the inaugural students. So I'm super excited and always happy to connect with her. Not only did she get certified through the Deeper Leader Institute, she is also a co-author of Deeper Women Teach.
Yes.
She's also in the process of establishing or writing her own book, and I'll let her tell you a little bit about that. But with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jeri. Jeri, you can just tell them a little bit about what you do. I mentioned that you're a life coach, but I know that you have a business built all around that. So I'm going to turn it over to you so you can tell the people about that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Swinney, and I appreciate this opportunity to be on your platform today and to speak and to just be in your presence one more time. I'm excited. I am Jeri Godhigh. I am a CEO and founder of Godhigh Associates Realty Company. I am the real estate broker for that company. I also have a team of real estate agents that work with me. I also have now founded a company called Josie's Girls Lead, and that was in honor of my mother. And what we do in that particular organization is we do our coaching. We coach executive women to break that glass ceiling. That's what I started long time ago when Dr. Swinney helped me break through my glass ceiling. I realized that, I can't be the only one that needs to break through this glass ceiling. When you think you have arrived and when you got there, you realize that, oh boy, I haven't arrived. And so we're excited to continue to walk in the things that God has for us for Josie Girls Lead. I am an author, as Dr. Swinney said, on her wonderful anthology. And then I'm also coming out with a new book called Who's Sleeping With Your Husband? And super excited about that launch. That's going to be coming 2022. And we're going to be doing a 7-city tour. And so I'm so excited about what God has in store. Then I also was presented, I don't think I've told you this, Dr. Swinney, but I was presented with someone to actually want to do the movie. And so we're going to be launching that to get on Netflix. So I'm excited.
Yes.
But you know what? With this excitement and with all the things that God is doing in and through me, boy, oh boy, have I been attacked, right? The enemy comes in like a flood, and he does. But he also he has a standard. And so because he has a standard, we can stand up against the enemy. And so I'm just excited. Like I said, I'm also an executive leadership coach and a mother and a grandmother and a woman after God's own heart.
Yes.
That's Jeri Godhigh.
Godhigh. Hello, Jeri. You have some fans in the audience listening. You have Dr. Marcia Whitaker, who's also Deeper Women Teach and one of the keynote speakers at Deeper Women Lead Atlanta. We have another speaker on here, Miss Jamia Ponder.
Jamia. That's my baby girl.
Who is going to be bringing it from the virtual stage on Saturday. I'm super excited to have all of you come back for Deeper Women Lead Atlanta. So that leads me to my next question, Jeri. Jeri, man, when I met you, it feels like maybe 3 years ago now. You were able to just get up and running from that. You've been on so many different stages. You've been on tour. I went to the book launch for Deeper Women Teach. You guys have been amazing. When I say you guys, you and Jamia, your daughter. When you saw the call for speakers for Deeper Women Lead Atlanta, what intrigued you? Why do you keep coming back? What brought you back?
What brought me back was honestly just being on the platform and being in your tutelage has brought me back, because I believe that that God has sent you my way to help me dig me up out of the trenches that I was in, to allow me to truly be the woman of God that I was. I didn't realize who I was at the time, but you helped me get there. And I do believe that going deeper is what we need to do. But I also know that going deeper costs you something.
Oh my gosh.
Jamia and I always talk about all the time. It may cost you a little bit, but it may cost you a lot. But it's certainly going to cost you something, right? And so going deeper costs you everything that you have within you to be that woman of God that he's called you to be, so that you can be that leader that he's birthed you to be. So you know, to be a leader, you got to be birthed to be a leader. You can't just open your eyes one day and say, I think I'm just going to be a leader. No, you were born to be a leader. And sometimes we don't know that we were born to be a leader. But that's why I keep coming back, because Deeper Women Teach, Lead, Global, all of it has taught me to go deeper in myself so that I can also reach others to do what they have been called to do.
That's good. That's good. Miles Monroe says that we were all born to lead, but it is our job to become leaders. And I believe that the deeper leader journey, that process is about continuing to become. So Jeri, I want to jump into something you said during your intro, but also when we were in the green room. You talked about how you kind of hit the ground running with your businesses and all of that, but have come up against some challenges which have caused you to go even more deep, so to speak. So can you tell us a little bit about this deeper life journey, how it is constant? It's a constant evolution of who you are as a leader.
Yeah. And so when you say yes to I do, yes, I do. I do want to go deeper. Yes, I do want to do the things that I was called to do. It causes you to then peel back that onion, those layers of things that you have within you. Some things you didn't even know still exist. And so you had to, you feel like you're peeling layer after layer after layer. And so you feel like, okay, now I've arrived. I'm there. I've done it. And then, before you know it, something else will hit your way and you realize that, oh boy, I got to go deeper, because it is still something in there that I need to discover in myself. And if you're not careful, you'll lose yourself again with the things that come up in life. Because one of the things I've learned is that you don't ever stop growing. We don't ever stop growing. We don't ever stop going through pains and things in our lives. But we have to keep going, because it's that pain, it's that thing, it's that beastly thing. That's the thing I'm going to be talking about at the conference, that beastly thing that's going to make you, that beastly thing that's going to push you to your destiny, to make you who you really were created to be. And so, yeah, I'm excited.
Yes. So your title, tell them the title of your session, Jeri.
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and
the Beast. Walking in your true calling. And it's going to cost you just a little something, something. But you can do it, because we're more than conquerors. Yeah.
And you know what? When I read your title, the title of your session, I thought about, and you talked about cost. It will cost you the illusion of who you are. Because some of us think we're this certain thing, but when you really, like you said, start peeling back the layers, it's that beastly thing that helps you realize, oh my gosh, I wasn't that girl after all. That wasn't who I was anyway.
Right.
So Jeri, since you started telling your story, there have been some twists and turns. How has your story changed since you told it in the book? And I know some things have changed even since after we inked it, things changed, pretty quickly. How has your story changed since you've been on this journey?
Wow. And so my story has changed tremendously, honestly, because in the end of that story, I thought, oh boy, I was sitting at my desk, looking out my window at work in my office, thinking, I can breathe now. I know who I am again. And then life hit. God says, okay, now I've got you to a place where you hear me, you know who you are. Now I'm going to take you to the next level. And in that next level living comes more challenges and things that you have to discover in you. And so it grows you up to that person that he really is calling. So he's calling you up, but you got to grow up to it too, right? Yes. And so because of that, I had some challenges that came my way. And so I am still dealing with those challenges, but I won't let these challenges stop me, right? I won't let them stop me from continue to grow to the next level. And so God is calling me up. Because he's calling me up, that means I got to go up. And in order to go up, I got to continue to reveal those things in myself that either need to go or need to be escalated, right? So those are things that we have to do for our own selves. So we're perfecting ourselves daily. And so whatever it is that I see, oh, yep, that's good. That could stay, or that needs to be better, or this needs to go away. And so I'm constantly trying to figure out what it is that I need to do to better me, because when I'm better, I can help somebody else get better.
That's good. That's good. And you mentioned when he's glowing you up, basically, he has to grow you up. We have to grow into this big thing that he has for us. In the green room, we were talking about some of the challenges that we each are facing, and some challenges may seem greater than others. But I was telling you, we were supposed to have this interview yesterday, but I woke up in the middle of the night wondering why the wind from the storm was just beating up against my door so harshly. And I realized that my fence had fallen down. So I woke up to my fence actually lying on the sidewalk.
Yes.
Which means my entire house is exposed. And I'm just on this corner, just butt naked. I'm just out here. I'm just naked. My house is just out here. Everybody can see what it looks like and all of that. My unkept yard and all of that. So I started thinking about that, and I started thinking about what I needed to work on inside of me, because everything is a model of something else. So all of the stuff that's happening around you need to be looking at that stuff to ask yourself, what in this situation do I see in me? What do I need to go back into? And what's happening with me lately, what God is revealing to me is you're not as transparent and vulnerable as you think you are. Now, here's the beauty of it. I used to pretend to be vulnerable and transparent. I'm no longer pretending to be vulnerable and transparent, but now the deeper comes in the, are you being as transparent and vulnerable as you can be? So he took away the pretense. He took away the acting like you're doing the thing too. You are indeed doing the thing. Now let's go deeper into that thing that you're doing. So what are some of the areas, Jeri, for you? What are some of the things he's peeling back? Some of that stuff that we thought we got to. We thought we broke through the glass ceiling, only to recognize that the glass ceiling has layers. Like a double pane window. You broke through the first layer, first pane. What are some things now that you're having to break through for the ceiling that perhaps you put over yourself?
Yeah. So I'm having to break through, really believing that no matter what's happened in my life, with the loss of my business, I had to sell my business last year. And I really, I at that point thought I had failed, that I was a failure. But before that, I thought I was great, right? So I hit the glass ceiling, went through it. I was great. I found Jeri again. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, wait a minute. How did I fail? People want to look at me like, wow, okay, she just, she was doing it. Now she got to close her business. And, I had to let my employees go. I mean, it was hard. It was very hard. And I began to not have that confidence in me anymore. I had to find myself again through my faith and ask God, what is it that you're having me go through? What is it that you're trying to show me about me? Right? Because at the end of the day, it wasn't about me. I thought I had to help my employees. I'm like, God, that you put them in my care. He said, but they're not your responsibility. I'm there. Right. I will take care of them. He says, but this time I need you to focus on you. And this is what I need for you to do. And so it took me to another level of faith, of growth, to learn, that because the business sold, because it didn't fail, but I sold it, doesn't mean that you were a failure. It just means that, hey, you got the opportunity to open up an Allstate insurance company. You had the opportunity to pour into women's lives. You had the opportunity to help them grow. You had the opportunity to grow yourself. You had the opportunity to earn and know how it feels to be to earn 6 figures that I had never knew before. You had the opportunity to be a part of a corporation that, hey, most people don't get a chance to do. You had the opportunity to be the first one in your family.
Wow.
Okay. And so I had to learn that through that failure, quote unquote, that it wasn't a failure, it was a success. It was a success taking me to another success. Yeah.
That's good. That's good, Jeri. And if we are, the believers that we say we are, he says he takes us from glory to glory, from faith to faith, meaning that every level is good. But because the limitations of our human capacity,
yes,
we see things as, oh my gosh, because it doesn't feel good, or because it's not going in the direction that we think it should, or because we've married ourselves to it.
Yes.
He didn't put you in that business to put a ring on your finger.
Right.
You married yourself to the business, and that's what happens. Because our identities become so enmeshed in the things that are happening around us, until we don't understand when the thing that is happening around us has served its purpose and moved on. So we just hang on. We want it. It's dragging us behind it. It's telling you, girl, I don't want you.
What? Do we listen to that? We don't listen to that.
No. Oh, I know you want me. You see this ruby wool lipstick? I know you want me. I know you want me.
Yes. Dragging you along.
I think about a time, and I think about this often, and this kind of helped me heal from the shift that I was having in my career 5 or 6 years ago. I was almost literally tapped on the shoulder and told, your services are no longer needed in this position. Well, I was devastated because you're the same kind of girl as me. It's all things career, it's all things at that time perception, and I've been on this upward trend all of my life. Yeah. And then for somebody to say, in my mind, I interpret it as, you're not as good as you think you are or think you were. But as I started dealing with that, because I had to sit with it and say, what do I need to work on? He also revealed to me, or reminded me of, that I got the job the same way. Yes. It was literally a tap on the shoulder saying, you need to go and apply for that position. So if I had to consider that a blessing, I had to consider the second tap a blessing.
Yes. Isn't that something?
Yes. But we want to, because it's not, that wasn't where I was trying to go. That doesn't lead to where I was trying to get to. But what I figured out was, Jeri, and I pray the same for you. And I believe you know this, and you're feeling this, and you're sensing this already. He was repositioning me for purpose. If that had not happened, this book would not have happened. Right. If that had not happened, Deeper Women Lead would not exist, because it was born out of the book. So with this platform, we've been able to reach and connect more women who lead, who, just like you said, Jeri, you cannot be the only one who busts through the first layer of the glass ceiling. You cannot be the only one, which is why you started your own coaching business. There are lots of us out there. And how many of us break through that first pain, think we've got it, don't realize there's another, and then we retreat. Yes. So for some of us, we're calling out. We're going to be calling out of the deep. And for others, we'll be calling into the deep. So we have to make sure that even with all of the stuff that we go through, that we continue to understand that it is about God's purpose, not ours.
That's right. Yes.
And it's not all going to feel good. And to him, the divorce and the marriage are in the same pot.
Right.
He's going to use it, whatever it is, it all works for our good. And we just have to trust that as humans, it doesn't all feel good to us.
It does not. No.
Especially as American humans. When in America, you just kind of feel like everything is good. On social media, everybody's putting their best foot forward.
Good. Yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm.
No, you just jumped up out of bed to get on this live.
Right. Literally.
I think
And you had to peel yourself, not you, me, had to peel myself to get on here. Like, God, if I hadn't promised Dr. Swinney I would be here, I probably would not be here because it's been so hard. But because I know I've been commissioned to do this, I got to do it through pain, through my fear, doing it scared, doing it broke, doing it rich, whatever it is, I've got to continue to do it. Because if we don't, we're no longer using this earth. Why are we still here?
What's the point? That's right.
Yeah.
What is the point? That is really, really powerful because sometimes my sister just joined us, Miss Demetria Franklin. Hey, Dee, that's my sister. Sometimes the thing that's holding us back is we over focus on ourselves. Even as we continue to grow. Jeri, if I had every resource that I needed, there's still going to be some kind of pain that I have to deal with.
Yes.
Because that's just a part of the evolution.
That's
You
right.
cannot commit to the deeper life without committing to the pain that comes with it. Because it will indeed come out. Because when you and I reconnected, we were like, oh yeah, we're all good. We're publishing books. You started Jeri and Jamia Unfiltered.
Yes.
We were getting it.
Getting it. Okay. Yeah. And he says, okay.
I told you that this over the weekend, my fence fell down. Well, almost 2 weeks to the day, my house flooded. And that same week, my car didn't pass emissions. I dropped my AirPod down the toilet.
He knows what's coming up. He knows what's coming up.
Canceled by a fake a winter storm that was going to hit Texas. And guess what? I still kept sending the links out.
Amen.
I kept sending out, okay, Jeri, can you meet at this time meet for your interview at this time? Because all of that stuff is going to come. But what it's about is the energy that we give to it. The first thing we want to say is, oh my gosh, we have our Job moment, right? What did I do?
Yes.
Did I do something wrong?
Right.
Instead of asking, what are you doing for me? What are you doing through me? Because obviously I'm supposed to get something out of this because I've got to carry it to the next level of faith. You can't get to one level and think everything you did at that level is going to get you to the next.
No.
So
there's that old story that says it says new levels, new devils, right? And then it's true, but it's new levels, new things that you can conquer, that's going to be put before you so that you can then jump over those hoops and learn and grow because it's going to make you that much better. That's right. New levels, new expansion. And expansion doesn't come without pain. You can't get fatter. Look, you can't get fatter without some new stretch marks. That's right. It stretches you. So new levels, new expansion. Yeah. So Jeri, let me ask you this. So you've dealt with women in leadership. In fact, as a part of you growing your company, you had some of the ladies in your office go through some of my leadership courses. Yes. What could you tell women who are in leadership like you, who are trapped inside of their stories and perhaps not being able to show up fully as who they are in leadership because they're keeping the personal story separate from the professional story? Right. I would tell them it's time for you to, like my daughter told me, to get some help, right? I know we don't like to talk about help. When I was growing up, I'm going to date myself, but when I was growing up, you were told that you just go to the Lord and you're okay, right? Or, you talk to your mother or your father and you're okay. And then we didn't have the access to therapy. We didn't have coaches back then. And so I would tell them that today is the day to seek out some coaching, doing some active steps to help you get to a place where now you can get free. Because until you are truly free, and you're able to get back to your old story, because you can't move forward until you go back, right? You got to go back. You got to go back to where it first started, because every single person has trauma in your childhood. I don't care what you say, there was some kind of trauma that caused you to be the way that you are. And so you got to revisit that. You got to move through it. Then you got to, it's baby steps taking you from the early stages all the way up to where you are now in stuckness, right? So I would say get some, find who you can talk to as far as a coach is concerned, or, therapy. Therapy is good. Yes, therapy is good. I mean, it helped me tremendously, and I'm looking forward to getting back into therapy, because it helps. It helps you discover yourself again. Because, a lot of people think, you can afford it. You can afford it. It may cost us a little, something may cost our Starbucks drink or my Chick-fil-A every day or whatever, but we found a way for everything else. Find a way to now invest in yourself to get you to the place where you can be free, because that's my motto is I'm free to be me. And every time I say that, I get hit with something else and said, are you truly free? Let's see how free you are, girl. Right. But really, you have to tell yourself, you got to walk in it every day. I am free to be me, no matter what you are facing. And sometimes that gets hard. It gets hard because life will hit you. And when it does, you got to go back to the beginning and say, I'm free. I'm free to be me. Right. But then I need some help too, because we can't get there alone. It wasn't meant for us to get there alone.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Because if we could get there by ourselves, he would have only put us here by ourselves. Yeah. But he put all of these people around us. And Jeri, if you don't mind me telling, when you came to me, I said, okay, I can be your coach. I can hold the space for you to think about where you are and where you want to go.
Yes.
But here's the name of my therapist.
Right. I had both.
Because here's what, as a coach, I deal with where you are and where we can go from there. And we might go back to the past to see what we learned from it, but we don't heal it.
Yes.
So the therapist will help you heal the past, and the coach helps you get to your future.
Yes.
So like you said, when I went through all of my stuff, I ran to a therapist. I ran to a coach. I ran to a Dave Ramsey class. I ran for help. And you think that you can't afford it, but is it worth you getting to the end of this year and finding yourself in the same place?
Yeah. Yeah.
You truly want to get to another place, get help.
Get help. You know what I resonated with, Dr. Marcia? I'm talking to Dr. Marcia. She said for 2 decades, she kept living the same life, living the same life for 2 decades. And I thought, my God, I think I've been doing the same thing, until you just keep doing the same thing, living the same way, experiencing the same things over and over and over again. And one day you're like, I can't keep doing this. That's and you good. Have what we call an epiphany, a wake-up call.
Wake-up call.
Yeah.
And sometimes you even switch partners doing it. Because I always say, be careful that you're not living the same old life with a new person. Because if you don't change and you don't shift, you will be like Dr. Marcia. Dr. Marcia, same thing here. For 2 decades, I kept showing up as who I was then.
Right.
Because I didn't know how to evolve. I could not do it by myself. I remember when I was working on my doctoral degree and I wrote my dissertation. Well, I thought I was so smart. Like, I know how to write. I can edit this myself. I sent that thing off to the university. They sent that thing back to me so fast. I was like, oh, I need help. I got an editor. The person edited it and it got accepted on the first try. So sometimes we think we got it, right? Yes. We think we can do it. We can do it by ourselves. You cannot. And sometimes the first step is like that that email or text that I sent to a group of ladies that I'm connected with. Hey, I need y'all. And then I added, this is my attempt at being vulnerable. Because when you're a woman in leadership, you are accustomed to solving other people's problems.
Right.
And you're good at it.
But that's the key. Other people.
Other people's problems.
Other people.
I can remember when I was going through a divorce, people will call me. I would literally be crying before they called. And I would pick up, hey, girl, what's going on? Solve their problem. I had one of them call me back and say, hey, I just heard you were going through a divorce, but your voice didn't sound like that when I was talking to you. Because I had been so practiced at showing up. But Jeri, like you said, when you get free, you can really show up.
Yes.
I can show up in a t-shirt.
What?
It'll be good.
That's right. That's
It'll
right.
be good. I can show up without the lashes.
That's right. That's
and
right.
Still be good. Because I am good enough. You are good enough. And that's what we have to get to. And that's my hope for every woman who will attend the Deeper Women Lead Atlanta Conference. If you have not registered, get over to deeperwomenleadglobal.org and register. Guess what? Yes, we are indeed hosting this conference for every woman who's going to be there. My prayer is that you have the right heart posture, that your heart posture is such that you're able to receive a word from each of these women. But the other thing that I like about this conference, Jeri, is what I'm going to get from it. Because just like you wanted to call me, just like you wanted to call me and say, oh, I don't feel like it, I can't do it. Yeah. Right after all of the speakers came in and said that they wanted to be a part of this, after we accepted the speakers, I was thinking, oh, I don't feel like, do I really want to do this? And then I got a call from one of them who was thanking me for giving her the opportunity. And that's when I had to say, this is not about you. You think this is about you? This is not about you.
At all.
In your little peon mind, you think this is about you. It's so much bigger. It's so much bigger than any of the women that are going to be there. I mean, you're going to want to take a selfie with the ladies who are there, because by the end of the year, you might have to prove that you knew me. Yes. So keep the picture. Keep the picture.
Keep the picture.
So, Jeri,
that's good.
We're going to close with you telling the people, telling the ladies what you want for each of them at the conference.
Sure. So what I want for each woman to do is to come in to feel and know and hear and see what freedom looks like, that they too can be free no matter what they're going through, no matter what it feels like, appears to be like, no matter what they're going through in their lives, that thing that they have inside of them is worth the fight to make it through. Worth it. It's worth it because they are worth it, and that they have something to give to the women and to the people that God placed in their circle. And I'm excited about it. I am, even though I'm pulling, you might be pulling me in the door, but I'm still excited about it because I know what God has in store. Yes.
The fight is real, but so is the victory. And the victory is even more sweet than the fight. Thank you, Miss Jeri Godhigh, as usual. It has been a joy to spend this time with you. Ladies, if you have not registered for Deeper Women Lead Atlanta for next Saturday, March 19th, be sure to go to deeperwomenleadglobal.org and get registered. We have 6 days. Get over there, get registered, so you can just be in the room with like-minded women who are all seeking to take their life and their leadership higher. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, Jeri. Thank you so much to the Deeper community. And with that, we are going to close for today. See you next Saturday, or see you Saturday, March 19th.
Saturday.